Hi one and all, it's Nicki here, and I'm back with, believe it or not, another Vampires Top 10. Now I thought I'd done enough, 4 videos already. Then I suddenly thought to myself, hang on a minute, vampire musicals. I love musicals, I love vampires, how can I not share my favourite vampire musicals with you? So I think this will be the last vampire related video, but hey, if you want more just tell me, I'm sure I can find some suitable vampire-y topics. Anyway, moving straight in. Number 1 of my list, and probably will always stay there because I love the show so much, is the Czech musical of Dracula by Karel Svoboda. I actually saw this, it's on DVD as well, and I saw it live in Prague a few years ago when they did a revival with Dan Hulkebach as Dracula, who he originated the role back when the show first came out in the 90s. This is a wonderful musical. It's not really Bram Stoker's Dracula. It kind of takes the idea of the legend of Dracula as a warlord whose bride dies, and then it just goes off on its own tangent. It's completely bizarre in a way. You end up in casinos with biker gangs, and it sounds weird, but I promise you it's a really good show. The music is absolutely beautiful. I love to sing it, and there have been some really good performances in the lead roles over the years. So that's definitely number 1. There's plenty of videos of it on YouTube, check it out. There's some great songs like Vím, že jsi se mnou, I Know That You're With Me, Nespravedlivý Bůh, Unjust God, but some great tracks, so do have a look. Number 2, Tanz der Vampire. So this is the Steinmann and Kunze musical from Austria. Jim Steinman does the music, and quite a few of the songs you'll kind of recognise. Total Eclipse of the Heart is in there, but with different lyrics, called Totala Finsternis, which is a really good moment in Act 2. This is actually based, this show, on a cult sort of B-movie, I guess you'd call it, called The Fearless Vampire Killers, which starred Roman Polanski. It's a very amusing film if you want to check it out, but the basic storyline is the same for the musical. There's a lot of comedy, but there's also some great drama too. Wonderful songs again, Einladung zum Ball, Carpe Noctem, Fusara, and yeah, definitely have a look. I mean, they did a Broadway version a few years back, changed loads of stuff, made it far too comedic, and it completely flopped. But every other production where they've stuck to the original production and just done a translation in Europe, then they've all been really successful, and it is a great show. So if you've only seen the Broadway version, don't judge on that, go back to the original German language version because it's so much better. Number 3 is a Dracula, and a more traditional Bram Stoker Dracula storyline. This one is by Orton and Evans. Now, to my knowledge, it's not had a stage production yet, it's only a studio cast recording, but it definitely deserves one because the songs are awesome. I mean, the one that always jumps out straight away in my mind is Within My World, which is sung by Dracula when he makes the decision he's going to go across and seduce Mina while he's in England, and he makes himself look young again to appeal to her. There is an official music video of this song sung by Michael McCarthy, so do check that out because it's on YouTube. And there's some other really nice songs in this too. For the Angel You Are is a really great moment, sung by Renfield to Mina. Yeah, I really enjoy it, and I really hope I might get to see it on stage one day. Number 4, a Quebecois musical, Dracula Entre l'amour et la mort, Between Love and Death. Now this one, Leclerc, I think Leclerc wrote the music, but really it was a vehicle for, and really the show was created by Bruno Pelletier. Bruno you might know from playing Gringoire in the original production of Notre Dame de Paris, if you like musicals. He's also a French pop singer, so there's plenty of his pop music out there too. This is another really good show. Like most sort of French-Canadian / French musicals, it's kind of more of a rock opera / pop opera than the way we think of musicals, say in the sort of Broadway West End scene. But often you see the mics, there's a fair bit of dancing, and this one's not too danceful. Another one I'll mention later is full of choreography, but this one's just got a lot of really big rock songs. Bruno Pelletier gets some great moments, some great material. He plays Dracula. He wears leather throughout the entire show, so if that's a factor for you guys, you know, hot guy, great voice, wearing leather, you definitely want to check out this musical. Number 5, Lestat. So the Elton John Vampire Chronicles musical. This one got a lot of bad press, really. There's lots of detractors, but while I agree it does have its faults, it's not perfect, it does have some awesome moments too, and some really good songs. I really enjoy both of Claudia's songs, I Want More and I Never Had That Chance. I also love the songs that Lestat and his mother Gabrielle sing together, so Crimson Kiss and Make Me As You Are. Armand also gets a really great song when he turns the tables on Lestat. And I always think of Drew Sarich played Armand in the version that I know best. So yeah, it's one of those shows where, yes, it's not going to be the best musical that you remember for 20 billion years, but it is worth seeing. It's got some good numbers, some good moments, and if you're a fan of vampires and the Vampire Chronicles, it's definitely worth seeing. Number 6, another Dracula, typical Bram Stoker Dracula again. This one by Frank Wildhorn. Now, Frank Wildhorn, I love some of his other shows. Jekyll and Hyde is awesome, Scarlet Pimpernel is really good, even Civil War has some great moments. This one I think is one of his lesser shows. It has 1 or 2 good songs, but I find the lyrics let it down a bit. Some of the lyrics just are a little bit cheesy. That's probably the best way to describe them. You kind of sort of want to just go when you hear a few of the rhymes and things, but that said, it again has some good moments. And I actually came across on YouTube one of the German productions of the show, and I actually liked it a lot more in German. And I mean, I don't think the lyrics are a little bit different obviously in the translation, but it seems to come across a little bit better in the German lyrics than it does in the English, but that's just me. But anyway, if you like Frank Wildhorn, it's his shows tend to be a little bit not quite as poppy as the French and French Canadian ones as I was just talking about. They're a little bit more rock oriented. These ones are more sort of classic pop. So if you like the sort of pop style musicals as opposed to the, you know, big sweeping Les Mis orchestral stuff, then this is probably one that you'd want to check out. Number 7, now I've included this one, but I've had mixed feelings about it in terms of this list, and that's the Buffy Once More with Feeling episode. Now, everyone seems to class this as a musical these days, and the reason I say I hesitated to include it here is because I don't really. I think it's a musical episode of Buffy, but I don't think it's a musical in its own right. That's just my particular classing of musicals that comes into play there. But that doesn't mean I think it's bad, and obviously it's on the list at number 7. It has some fun songs. I mean, none of them are going to break any, you know, Emmy records or anything like that, but they're amusing, they're fun, they're memorable, catchy. They lucked out really that some of the cast, like James Masters and Anthony Stewart, had a musical background, so they got some reasonable singing performances in as well. So any Buffy fan will love the show anyway, and if you like musicals and you're not a Buffy fan, it's still worth checking out because it has its good moments again. Number 8, so we're going back to French language, this time French, so Parisian French, not Quebecois, and this one is Dracula, l'amour plus fort que l'amour, love stronger than death. Now this one's a little bit different than the Bruno Pelletier earlier one I mentioned, because choreography is a much bigger aspect of this one. There are songs, there's singing, there's a book, but the show creator, his name is Ouali, something like that, I believe he has a choreography background. So the dance is one of the major factors in this show compared to the songs. So there's a bit more of a push for supremacy, which is why it's a bit lower down the list. I don't think the music's not quite as catchy as Bruno's musical. I could sit here and sing off the top of my head most of probably the songs in the Bruno Pelletier Dracula musical. This one, I can't off the top of my head sing anything from it. If I heard them, I'd remember them, but they're not as catchy as the ones in the other show. But it's still very enjoyable, and again a bit more of a sort of pop rock feel, if that sort of thing appeals to you. Number 9, the Vampire Night musical. Now this I came across just by chance. when I got into watching and reading the manga and anime of Vampire Knight, and suddenly discovered there's this musical. It's around on YouTube. You can see clips and things. It's good fun if you're a Vampire Knight fan. I don't speak Japanese, so I don't understand the lyrics. However, because I know the storyline from the manga and anime, I'm able to watch the musical and enjoy it because I know what's happening. I mean, again, nothing majorly catchy that sticks with you afterwards, but still just enjoyable to watch as another interpretation of the story. It was an all-female cast as well, which is something they do quite a lot with musicals in Japan. They've got a few troupes that do that. So just from a point of interest, it's good to watch for that as well. And finally, I actually struggled a little bit with the number 10 spot, I have to say. Simply because I ran out of ideas. I was like, have I covered them all the ones I know? Then I remembered there is a Swedish musical of Dracula, although I believe all the songs were in English, like from the first time it was put on. Now this one I've put in number 10, although I have to say straight off that I haven't seen it. I've heard 2 or 3 of the songs, and I liked the songs that I heard, but I've never seen it in its entirety. From memory, I think the storyline is someone comes to interview Mina in her old age, and she tells the story about what happened with Dracula. So it's the Bram Stoker Dracula-ish again. But yeah, I mean, if you guys know anything more about this, if you know where I can see it or hear some more, I'd love to know about that, because as I said, I've only heard a few of the songs, and although I enjoyed them, I'd like to get an idea of the production as a whole. So that's my top 10 vampire musicals. And as with the Swedish one, if you guys know any other vampire musicals that I haven't covered here, pop them in the comments, because I'm always keen to discover some more. If you've got some favourites that I haven't mentioned, I haven't come across, do share them with me. I will close there for now, but as always, any suggestions for top 10 lists, pop them in the comments too, and I'll be back again next month with a few more ideas to share with you about a different topic. Get rid of the vampires for a little while, and maybe we'll go on to something a little bit more high culture. Bye for now.